I just surpassed my biggest month in ad revenue in my YouTube channel's 11-year history. I'm at a loss for words, and today I want to talk to you guys about it. This isn't going to be a reaction, so if you're not interested in just watching Tall speak for a couple minutes, you're probably going to want to watch something else. But I want to just take a moment to connect with you guys because I don't really get a chance to do this that often anymore. And I think it's important to be grateful. I've had a lot of time to reflect recently on all this recent success on YouTube and where it's going, and I want to just have a heart-to-heart and talk to you guys about it because I think it's actually quite remarkable. So as of today, this is July 31st. We're at the end of the month, and the way YouTube works is we get paid once a month. So you make all your money and you get all your views over the course of the month, and you get paid at the end of the month, and you get to know exactly how much you made on like August 1st, August 2nd. I'll know exactly how much I made, but it's about 10 times more money than I was making at this time last year, because last year I was broke at this time. I was digging myself deep into debt. It's like 5 to 10 times more. I haven't done the exact calculation. I'm just doing it off the top of my head. So it's insane how much money is actually coming in from the YouTube channel right now. And obviously I have expenses. I have a team that I work with, and it's pricey. I'm not saying it's cheap, but I'm still walking away with a fair sum of change. And Patreon has been insane. I mean, my Patreon has jumped from $1,800 at the beginning of this month, at the beginning of July, to $3,200 a month. And it hasn't even been from people receiving anything from my Patreon. I actually removed some of the perks that my patrons get, and you guys doubled down on becoming patrons on Patreon. So that's something I'm extremely grateful for. Merchandise, like what I'm wearing right now on the travelingclad.com, has been selling like hotcakes. Buy me a coffee every single day. Multiple, I would even say hundreds of dollars coming in every single day on Buy Me a Coffee, and PayPal and Ko-Fi, and you guys are finding every nook and cranny on the internet where you can support me to support me. And I want to address a few things. One is, when I got to Israel, I mean, people don't know this, I was living in Southeast Asia before October 7th, and I kind of like built a life for myself there. And so when October 7th happened, and I also, by the way, my YouTube channel, this channel, used to be like a travel YouTube channel. I was already kind of like on a decline for a couple of years. Since the pandemic, I was having a hard time bringing in income from my YouTube channel because things changed really drastically. And so I had all these ideas, and before October 7th, I was about to launch a brand new campaign and sink myself even deeper into debt to try to revive my channel. I was already like $25,000 to $30,000 in debt. That I had spent trying to revive the channel prior, doing a bunch of different kind of content. So I was about to try that again in America. And then October 7th happened. So I came here to Israel like pretty deep in debt. I was like around $60,000 in debt. And when I got here, the situation only got worse, because for like about a year and a half, if it wasn't for my patron community and like people who were buying me coffees and sending money on PayPal, I basically didn't have enough money to pay for rent and for bills. And I still, even after with all those things, I was still not really making any money. I was either breaking even or just losing a little bit of money. So like I pretty much up until February last year was like inching near $70,000 in debt, and like on credit cards and loans that I've taken out. And that's something I've never really been open about and talking about. Now that ship kind of sailed, and I'll explain about that a little bit later, things have changed drastically in a very positive manner. But I sort of stuck the course, and I saw the community that was rallying up behind this channel, and I knew that if we kept pushing forward, things were sort of falling into place. We realized that doing news updates and reaction stuff was really going to do well. And then a company called Jewish Creator approached me, and we decided to start working together, and really took the channel from 280,000 subscribers to nearly 600,000 now that we're inching towards. And it's been me and another a YouTube creator known as Other Barak and Official Sar TV. We all sort of work with the same organization, the same company called Jewish Creator. They're amazing. If you haven't heard about them, you look them up online, Jewish Creator. So they're the ones who really helped me come up with the ideas for videos for these reactions that we do. And, this month we surpassed and broke every record we've broken in the last 6 months of working together. And that has been truly, truly life-changing, to the point where I've paid off, I can proudly say now, 80% of the debt that I was in. I still got a little bit left, and I'm just hoping that this month closes in the best way possible, which it looks like it's going to. and the next month I'm going to be paying that off as well. And then I really will be like officially debt free. And I'm not a guy who went into debt because of college. I went into debt because I believed in myself, and I kept trying to pursue my ideas and trying to make a change in the world with content. And I failed miserably for quite a while. And then things started changing around for me in February when I started working with Jewish Creator, and you guys obviously really rallied up behind me as well. And the support and love that I'm seeing from all of you has, again, for lack of better terms, has changed my life. Like, and it's crazy how quickly it happened. Like month one, we started bringing in a certain amount of money. I was like, that's insane. And then month two, and I was like, oh my God, what? We had a little bit of a dip. And then like June, when I was stuck abroad in Europe, and I still haven't even really released the videos for that, we made an X amount of money. And I got back to Israel just at the end of June. July, this whole month that I've been in Israel, has been insane. We've broken every metric, every record, every analytical standard. Like everything has been broken. And I'm proud to say that companies have reached out to sponsor videos during this last month. And I threw them insane amounts of money to sponsor. And they said no. And I said, fuck it. We don't need you. I'm doing this shit on my own with my fans, with my followers. I've never been in a position like this before in my life where I don't even have to do like when I used to do sponsorships when I lived in New York City in 2019, I did them out of necessity because YouTube would bring in a certain amount of money per month. It was like, let's say $2,000 a month. And then I would do a sponsorship for $2,000 with Skillshare or with Squarespace for $3,000. And that would help me actually make a decent living in New York City that was very expensive and keep funding crazy video ideas. But now we're bringing in so much revenue just from you guys watching and you guys supporting on Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee, PayPal. I never even have to do a sponsor spot. Like I'm not saying I won't do them because if the money is right, I will definitely do them because I'm still trying to safeguard my future. It's not about being greedy, but it's about, this is a business at the end of the day, and I want to make as much money as possible. But I don't have to. I don't have to do it. It's not a necessity anymore. And I will say that many of you guys who are following me very closely, who are part of my Discord community, who are part of my Patreon, who really gotten to know me over the course of the last year and a half, let's say, from when I really came back to live in Israel, you guys would have heard me complain about money often. I don't know if I want to say complain, but I was stressed. I was living under immense amounts of pressure. Like even with my family, when we were communicating about this, there was so much unsureness, like so much vagueness in my life, like not knowing what the fuck I was doing, just like leaving this certain path of life and coming to live in Israel and pursuing advocacy. And like all of a sudden I'm a lecturer, all of a sudden I'm talking and I'm debating with people and I'm still not bringing in money. And we're like all sort of looking at it like, what the fuck is Tal doing? Where is this going? Like friends, family, everybody's sort of looking at me like, what is he doing? Something I haven't shared with many of you guys is that like I was homeless when I arrived in Israel. I do have family here, but it's not like a support system. And it's not the shit on my family in any way, God forbid. It's not the support system like some other very tight-knit families. I was crashing at certain periods of time. Like there was a 3-month period where I slept on my aunt's floor, and then I slept on friends' couches and on other friends' floors and other friends' couches. And it was in the dead of winter. I was like literally bouncing between Jerusalem, Haifa, Tel Aviv, just like in a circle, trying to crash as many people's places as possible, just so I could like not spend too much money before I felt confident enough to get my first apartment, which took me like 4 months. And then even then, it was like a very difficult process with the apartments. I switched like 5 apartments to the apartment I'm in now, and now I'm actually like thinking when the contract ends of this apartment, I'm gonna get myself a normal place to live. I know this place is actually, it's not bad, but like I'm gonna get myself a really normal place to live that I can actually feel like a home and comfortable, and I'm not thinking about every single bill anymore. I'm not thinking about every single penny. And I really have to say, like, the way that my brain has been operating in the last 2 months, the ideas, the creativity, the freedom that's been unlocked by you guys believing in me, funding me, watching my content that has in turn turned into revenue for me, has been life-changing. Those of you guys who have been following me closely and talking in like the tight-knit community on Patreon and Discord, you would have seen a totally different version of Tal, a way more stressed version of Tal that was limited in capacity of thought because I was always thinking about, okay, what's the next bill? What's the next bill? I'm in survival mode. and I'm trying to pull myself out of the debt that I'm in. It's like in 2 months, my life has completely changed because of you guys. And I'm now living in a reality where I'm actually thinking creatively again. I'm thinking big. The tall that was before the pandemic is back. And that's something I haven't really had access to that side of my brain for a long time, because since the pandemic, I've been so buckled under pressure of money and projects that I dug myself into that I haven't been able to think that way anymore. And now I'm really in this mindset of I'm ready to take this to the next level. I'm way more zen. I'm way more in tune. I feel way sharper and ready for action. And it's all because of you guys. And again, I'm not making this video to gloat. God forbid in any way. You guys see, like, this is my room. It's not like I don't live in a fancy place. I promise you. And even when I move out of here, I'm not going to live in a fancy place. I try to live my life humbly as possible. You're not going to see me like going, and anyone who lives in Israel who sees me on the street can attest to this. You're not going to see me. It's rare that you'll see me at like a fancy place, and it's only maybe because I've been invited. You're not going to see me sitting down at fancy restaurants and shopping thousands of dollars of suits and gear. And even right now, like, I'm in a point in life where I need to go out and spend money on like better looking clothes and a more professional look. And it's still like fighting that part of my brain, which is more small-minded, to not do it. But I'm just not the kind of person I am. I don't live lavishly. I live with purpose. And I'm so deeply appreciative of you guys for allowing me to fund my dreams and allowing me to push forward. And I know that my content is like, I know it's a personal fight for a lot of you guys who maybe don't have the voice to speak up. And I see your messages and I see all the thank yous that like, thank you, you're fighting for me. But I want you to know that without you, it's not possible. Because at multiple times in the last year and a half, I considered quitting because it really got so difficult. I was struggling like mentally and financially, so difficult in trying to stay in this fight, really feeling unsupported, completely unsupported by any Jewish organization or any organization. I just didn't feel like I had any support system besides you guys. But now you guys are so large in number, and the support system is so rock solid, so ironclad, that I am living life without fear, which is something I can say for the first time in like a year and a half. I really am living. I have a security net now that you guys have created for me. So I'm deeply, deeply appreciative and grateful. And again, I'm not uploading this video to gloat. I'm uploading it as a celebration, as a moment for us to all sort of come together. And I kind of know who are the individuals that are going to watch this video. As a moment for us to come together and celebrate this success. Like, this is amazing that we've been able to pull this off. I tell people the success story of what I went through coming here, leaving my former life and what I was doing, and coming to literally sleep on the floor. Like being homeless and pulling myself out of my shit to succeed. And like now it's really successful, and people are inspired by this story. They're in awe by this story. I was telling the story yesterday to a friend I haven't seen in a very long time, who was like, just with their mouth gaped. They couldn't believe that I pulled this off. I sometimes can't believe that I pulled this off, but I'm again very, 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 very grateful to every single person watching this who has stuck with me for the last year and a half, who has believed in me. And I can say confidently now, we're just at the beginning. Like, I know it seemed like this was all like a big rush, and maybe the war is winding down and whatever it be. I can say with full confidence that was all just setting the foundations. People who don't know me, who haven't been following me for a long time, I'm a little bit of an animal. And I'm a very arrogant person, which means like if I feel like I can't do something, I'll sort of fight to make it happen. I have like that fighter spirit inside of my brain, which like when I see an opportunity to quit, I'll go the other way, like as extreme as you can the other way. Or if somebody tells me, or I feel like somebody's putting pressure on me to say you can't do this or you won't succeed in it, I'll do it in spite of them. I'll go the exact opposite way and prove to myself that I can. So this whole year and a half has been literally just fighting that, where it was like I felt like everything, the universe, people were telling me, you're not going to succeed. What the fuck are you doing? You're a shill. You're this, you're that, whatever. And we're now over that hump. Alhamdulillah, not to jinx it, but we're over that hump. You know, like God bless. Baruch Hashem. We're over that hump of somebody telling me I can't succeed or I can't do this. And now we're sitting in a position of we can think. We can be conniving. We can be strategic. We can really figure it out. So I'm excited for this next chapter, and I say this is only the beginning because we just surpassed 500,000 subscribers, and I'm going to go for gold. I feel confident. I don't know if I'll be able to succeed in it. We got to stay humble, but I feel confident that we can fight the fight and maybe make it there. So the idea is to make it to the gold, to make it to 1 million subscribers, to prove it to the internet, to prove it to the world that the Mizrahi Jewish story is important to people, that the context of this channel and the fight against Arab supremacism and radical Islamic ideology is important to people, and that we can rally together to make a change in the Middle East and make a change in the world under this channel. This channel, The Traveling Class, stands for a lot more than just being like a world traveler and a hippie. It's context, it's history, and it's love. And we bring a message, this community, and it's not perfect, but we bring a message through this channel that is unique to this channel that I have not seen anywhere else on YouTube. And again, the context that we bring here through my family story, through the way I live my life, through Israel, is unlike any other YouTube channel on this website. I can say that confidently. And I'm proud of that product that we have now to deliver to the world. So, again, I'm appreciative of all of you so very much. It really means the world, the support. And by the way, this is one last thing I wanted to add. You know, at the beginning of this month, July, we actually saw a dip in views on the channel, and I started getting worried. I thought maybe this is the downfall. And again, you know, your brain, because of YouTube, it sort of fucks with you. Every time you see a dip, you start thinking, all right, I got to prepare for the worst. But what I did instead of that mindset is I pivoted. I started doing Omi TV debates. I saw my good friend Sal was doing. I got his blessing to also follow suit. And he was obviously very supportive of the idea of me jumping into that sphere as well. And instead of just doing the same exact thing and hoping that something would change, we took a hard action on the channel and said, all right, in addition to all the other work we're doing, we're going to start throwing in this kind of content in as well. And try to bring in another element of views from another place and add value to you guys. And some of those videos are hundreds of thousands of views. They brought in millions of views this month. And we were able to not only, again, save the channel from that dip it was about to go through, but surpass the revenue and surpass the views and subscribers by such a large margin. We've broken every single record in the history of the channel. That's amazing. And that's emunah. That's having belief. That's having the spirit to keep fighting even when it goes tough, even when it gets rough. I don't want to ramble too much. That's an almost 20-minute video. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for the support recently. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you long time. Please continue to support the channel and the work that I do here. Help me bring this message to the big stage. Help me bring this message all over the world. See you guys in the next one. Goodbye, class. If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way to support my channel, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclat.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat, or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.